ये रामायण जो हमारा गाथा है, कथा है, वो 3 घंटे में नहीं कह सकता कोई भी. You see, when we made that Ramayan, there was a lot of discussion in our team. Ram never called him as a god, except for 2 miracles which he did. अहिल्या के वक्त जो उन्होंने उनको श्राप से मुक्त किया, और एक जब पार्वती शिव का जो इंसिडेंट है. बेसिकली वी फॉलोड तुलसी रामायण, बट एवरी सीन वाज बीइंग रेड from different domains. It took about 7-8 days just to get that smile. So many places the dialogues are not required. Just Ramji's smile is enough. Ravan was a Brahmin, very ज्ञानी आदमी, बहुत ही ज्ञानी आदमी था. उसके लिए we needed an artist who could express both. एक प्रेम रथ पर बैठा है, उधर जाकर दो महारथी, वो सब सारे जो गाने हैं, अंतिम क्षण में युद्ध रावण राम करते हैं, और दो समझ के.
Moti Sagar, welcome to CNN News 18.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Sir, you were one of the directors on the Ramayana that was directed by your father, Ramanand Sagar.
But directed by all three of us.
Yes. Sir, in the light of backlash that Adipurush is getting, that people are saying and everybody is talking about the perfection of the Ramayana that your father made. What are your thoughts on the film, and have you watched Adipurush?
I have not watched, but I have been reading a lot about it all over, including following his collections, everything I have been doing. You see, I would not go against the makers because they had different. They thought something else, like they thought we could make something very modern. Maybe today's generation might like something like that. Like they have been seeing all Hollywood movies, everybody, they might be influenced by that. So that's the technique they followed for this. But somehow it didn't work. It didn't go well with our audience. Ramayan, only thing I would like to say, once you take a subject like Ramayan, it's an epic of such a big magnitude in our country, and from hundreds of years it is being there, it is being read, it is being, whatever anybody might say कि वाल्मीकि कितनी पुरानी थी, पता नहीं, but Tulsidas Ramayana, everybody knows, is about 500 years old. That's known fact. It's not that he was a fictional character. So it's such an old granth जो है, जिसकी which is revered today also. It's like doing puja in your mandir, you read Ramayana. So those books, if you want to make some movie on it, I definitely would say that you have to be careful and keep that भावना जो आदमी की है, जो श्रद्धा है, जो आस्था है उन किताबों की, you can't go against something like that and try to make something which is like modern action and all those things. You see, when we made that Ramayan, there was a lot of discussion in our team. What type of dresses should be there? How Ram should look, how Sita should look. Then our team visited all the temples in north, south, east, west, took photographs from them, found some photographs जो पूजा की जाती मंदिर में काफी लोगों की. And then one thing we decided that we cannot go against that, against those type of costumes, against those type of presentation. That image of Ram which is there, which I am seeing these temples, my audience are going to connect with that image which is there. जो रोज पूजा करते हैं, even today, it's not that now कोई पुरानी चीज है. Those images will not change till the country which is so religious till now.
Sure.
You see, it's not an atheist country, it's not a communist country, not something like that. But for this Ramayan, somehow the audience felt that they were cheated with the characters. They were cheated with the dialogues, what Ram was saying. They felt that gods can't speak like that. Whereas the makers thought differently. Their thought was, let's put something for the younger generation that will make them understand the story of Ramayana better, but Ramayana is not a story.
Sure. Moti sir, 3 years from now, it will be 40 years to Ramayana that you made along with your father. The first episode of that Ramayana was aired on January 25th, 1987.
Yeah.
Even today, everybody is talking about the perfection of that show. I thought it would be nice today to rewind a bit and maybe tell us the journey of Ramayana that you took along with your dad. What was the starting point? When and how you decided to make Ramayana as a TV serial?
Okay, I'll be giving you everything in detail. But before that, I would just make one point very clear that I would not like to compare a film with a series. Those are different genre, totally. Please,
Yes.
nobody should compare. Everywhere in the news, you are finding everybody comparing. Don't compare. That's something. A genre was different. That cannot be achieved in a film. Now, my father, Mr. Ramanand Sagar, had always a desire to make Ramayana, right from about 15, 20 years. Earlier also, he wanted to make Ramayana, something like that. Of course, he was a very famous film director, producer, hit films he has made, big films, very successful person in history, especially in writing. So he always wanted to make Ramayana, which has never been told except in the films of 3 hours or 2 hours. So he wanted that the audience should know, our people in the country should know what Ramayana is. So there was a time when some very senior politician had approached and said कि सागर साहब आप रामायण क्यों नहीं बनाते picture. At that time TV was not there. So Sagar sir said कि सर ये रामायण जो हमारा गाथा है कथा है और एपिक है जो रामायण ग्रंथ है वो 3 घंटे में नहीं कह सकता कोई भी 3 घंटे में क्या कहूंगा एक कहानी कहूंगा एक हीरो है एक शादी करते हैं हीरोइन से एक विलियन है विलियन उसकी बीवी को उठा जाता है फिर ये निकलते हैं उसको बचाने के लिए बीच में मदद के लिए कुछ लोग मिलते हैं उसको बचा के लिए आ जाते हैं दैट इज नॉट रामायण सो आई विल नेवर मेक रामायण दैट then when television came in the country then he called all of us and said this television and media in which my lifetime's ambition can be fulfilled. And if we get a chance to make Ramayana, definitely I would like to do Ramayana. Initially, we made few programs like Dada Dadi Ki Kahani and Vikram Betal just before the release of this. And then they were very popular. Then Doordarshan offered, Papaji said, they asked, what do you want to make? He said, I want to make Ramayana. Of course, it took some time for them to okay it because there were a lot of controversy at that time going on. It was television was not a religious channel. But then people explained them that Ramayana is not religion. And Ramayana doesn't teach you should इसी भगवान की प्रार्थना करो इसी से पूजा करो. Ram never called him as God. कृष्ण ने अपने आप को हमेशा कहा कि I am God. But in Ramayana, Ram has never said कि I am God. Except for 2 miracles which he did. अहिल्या के वक्त उन्होंने उनको श्राप से मुक्त किया और एक जब पार्वती शिव का जो इंसिडेंट है where पार्वती देखते कि राम बच्चों की तरह रो रहा है जब सीता को अगवा कर देते हैं he is crying like a child and he is finding सीते सीते सीते. So that's the time when Shiva tells ki she says कि ये तो आदमी है you're saying is this supernatural God what it is. He said okay go and test him. So she comes down as Sita and stands next to a tree. So when Ram was there and looks at him, माते आपको तो तकलीफ है अपने आप कहते तो मैं आ जाता आपको दर्शन देते. And she felt so this thing that she went like she knew he is not this thing. But he never expressed himself as God to any other any people around. He behaved as a Maryada Purushottam, man with the highest values possible for a human being today, especially in that Treta Yuga. See, today we have Kali Yuga. In that Treta Yuga, the people staying there also were very different. And then the ideology of those people was very different. Why he took the Banwas? Because that ideology was that when a father is a father and he should not go through any pain or any problem. If he has given a promise, and if it is to be fulfilled, as a son, I'll do my duty. Putra dharm pura karunga. And that too, then he left it, and that also he knew he is giving it to his brother. So he never felt anything odd in that also. So then, how we started Ramayana was when they offered us. Then he had a meeting with all of us, and he said, "See, I have got this offer, and this is my lifetime ambition to do this Ramayana, and I am not going for any financial gains in this. If anybody wants to join, can join. So if anybody wants to do their own work, we are all together doing all the work together. Can do their own work. Of course, everybody said, you don't think that about it, we'll all be together in this such a big project which has come to you. So naturally we joined, and then the process started of making. That's how we started. The idea of Ramayana came, and when we got opportunity, when we got, so then we all got together. We all worked together on that as a team also, and of course he was as a writer. He was already a very famous literary writer. He was from Lahore. He was born in Kashmir, but then he was educated in Lahore. So he was from Lahore University. He was MA in Urdu and Persian. His knowledge of writing and his knowledge of how to script this such a big epic, which will also they speak the essence of this epic and also touch the heart of the people so that they watch this and understand this epic. That was very important. We had a team of writers, and there were more than 30-35 Ramayans kept everywhere there before we started. So every scene, basically we followed Tulsi Ramayana, but every scene was being read from different Ramayans. उन्होंने क्या लिखी, कम रामायण में क्या हुआ, बंगाली रामायण में क्या है, उर्दू चकवर्ती ने क्या लिखा है, like those scenes were read, and then it was decided, oh, this is the best. इसमें से ये जो है, इसमें नहीं है, we can add this. Then he would write this thing. So that much of labor had gone in before the start of the Ramayana, and so much of labor had gone in how it should be presented, how the scene should be written, and all those things were done. And then the second challenge was finding the people, finding the actors, finding Ram who would fit, and what the costume, what the setting should be there, how will they speak, the body language, the acting performances, everything. So then that time we had a lot of auditions done. There were more than 200, 300 auditions just for Ram. And ultimately it came boiled down to about 8 of them. And 2 in the end were selected, in which of course we found Arun Govil with his physics, his face and his speech. All we thought was the perfect thing for the man.
And his smile also?
Smile. Smile ki ek alag kahani hai. When we went to Umargaon, so we didn't start the shooting. Father said, no, first let me fix everybody's character, how I want them to be seen, and what type of performances I want, the tonals, the tones, how high they can go, how low they should go, including Ravan, the expressions, how the body language, everything. Just for that one smile, there were about, we used to wait for shooting, chalo aaj shuru ho jayegi, but no. It took about 7-8 days just to get that smile. And that smile, he had that image, that he had that, what you saw, that smile should speak everything.
Okay.
That one smile speaks everything. So many places the dialogues are not required. Just Ramji's smile is enough to speak what he wants to say.
So then, sir, which boxes you think needed to be ticked when you were casting for the lead roles? Like what all you were looking in each actor?
So we had the images of from most of the temples, most of the photographs, we had images, lot of images were there, right? So we were very particular ki jo audience who has been going to the temples every day, they should have at least some, they should feel, okay, we are seeing what we're seeing in the statues, what we're seeing in this photograph. We are seeing something similar to that here. Of course, you can't get 100%, something similar to that here. So that was very important. We followed that. And of course, there were many movies made earlier also. We saw all the movies also, and which were very successful. But successful means those characters were accepted by the audience. South mein there was NTR used to play all these movies, right? All those people, they were accepted faces, accepted this thing. Of course, you cannot get that faces, that type of a thing. But we could see the grace in that face. तो वो सारा सोच के सब करके we followed that.
So then, what were you looking in Ravan when you cast him? Like,
Ravan character was never in films never shown as what Ravan is actually. When you read Ramayana, so Ravan was a Brahmin, very ज्ञानी आदमी, बहुत ही ज्ञानी आदमी था. He was not a normal person. He wouldn't be shouting, हाँ, वो normally पुरानी फिल्मों में वैसे करते थे, रावण को एकदम villain type बताते थे. Ravan was never villain. He was very intelligent person, very very intelligent person. And उसके लिए we needed an artist who could express both the reaction. He should look intelligent, yet he has to be against personalities जिसको हम भगवान मानते हैं. So that was very important. So उस रावण के लिए जो acted lot, and then Arvind Trivedi, who played Ravan, he was #1 stage artist and one of the top actors of Gujarati films. And he had a lot of roles. So his performance, his image, and a balanced type of performer, he was a super performer. So when we found him and we took his test, of course, there was no second person next to him for that.
yeah, Ramayana had a very soothing music with some very good songs. Like, say, when Rama goes to Janakpuri, to the whole Shiv Dhanush sequence, and those tension building songs during the final battle. What was the thought behind those songs, sir?
You see, Ramayana is popular as Ram Leela also. So most of the places, our audience, Indian audience, have heard it where the people are singing Ramayana. You see, so Papaji had that also in mind. Ki music should play very important in काफी sequence में he should play with the music, so that the audience connect and they don't get disconnected with it. They feel okay. This is the Ramayana we have been seeing from years, from centuries. यार यही Ramayana अच्छी है. It was not an easy job to hold a full sequence of the marriage just in song. Not an easy job for any person. So at about 15-20 minutes of hold for the audience just with the song. So there were 4-5 songs joined together. I remember that our joining we did for एक गाने की cutting के time, edit के time सारा. So it was a difficult thing to do that. And then of course we followed that this thing, and during the war becomes very boring otherwise. War becomes very up picture में ठीक है, picture there's limitation, you do only 3 minutes, 4 minutes enough. Maximum 7 minutes, 8 minutes. Actions उससे ज़्यादा picture में ठहरते नहीं है. Heavy music also need that. So in this, to create a war with each and every character there, and then continue that war so that the audience gets satisfied that yeah, they fought and they won. So therefore the songs helped a lot in that. So those type of battle songs were made. एक प्रेम रथ पर बैठा है, उधर दो महारथी, वो सब सारे जो गाने हैं, अंतिम क्षण में युद्ध रावण राम करते हैं, all the songs. So they all were very apt to the situation, and we could then create a lot of other fighting sequence. जो रथ ऊपर आसमान में जाते हैं, all those things we could do it because of the song. नहीं तो वो फिर इतना एक्शन खाली 3 चल रहे हो उतना बोर करने लग जाता.
How challenging was it back in the 80s to create the kind of effect that you have shown in Ramayana?
Okay. See, luckily I had directed Dada Dadi ki Kahani.
Yeah.
So actually that was the first serial we started shooting on television from our family. And in that I had used special effects. In film, how you do special effects was not possible. We had a very small magic box or certain machine, MX something 5 or something. Those machines were there. And we had to do everything live chroma. Now suppose I have to take a shot of 2 arrows from here and there coming, clashing, and there's a blast. So I have to take 2 plates first. I would take 2 plates, then here in one plate I had 1 arrow, in another plate I had another arrow. Then there's a 3rd plate in which both arrows are coming. Then we join it together. There's another, then that becomes a plate in which I add some effect. and that becomes a plate in which blasting. So just that shot for about 2 seconds or maybe less than that also, the whole sequence, I had to shoot about 5 or 6 times just for one arrow. And
How much
later
time
then,
it took?
huh?
How much time it took? How much time? Was it very
we used
time?
to take 2 days only for special effects. This thing. 2 days, almost 14 hours a day, 15 hours a day shooting. But 2 days it was take only for shooting all this.
So, according to you, in today's day and age, what kind of vocabulary is suitable or apt for the mythological characters, say like Hanuman?
In our serial Ramayan, we, we changed a lot in language. We made it very accessible to the common man. Whatever it is, when you hear Ramayan dialogues, it looks okay, it is today's dialogue. Nobody, except you are using Brata Shri or something like that, that doesn't make it that it's something very different. But the whole sequence, whole dialogue, everything was today, everybody can understand that so much of simplicity was there. Educated, uneducated people could understand. So that language which was used, certain Urdu words were also used in that. It didn't follow just Sanskrit word. If you hear all the dialogue.
Yeah,
Papa ji, somebody asked, सागर साहब आपके उर्दू भी इसमें डाल रहे हैं, ये तो संस्कृत की है. पापा जी कैसे देखो, जो आज वर्ड जो हैं, जो लोग चल रहे हैं, मैं उसमें यूज करने में मुझे कोई हर्ज नहीं है. There's no harm in that. It's that the audience should understand my language and I have to keep that grace. And I keep that मर्यादा रखनी मेरे को अपने डाले में, चाहे उसमें थोड़ा उर्दू वर्ड्स हैं, but it's not that people is saying ये तो उर्दू है. Common man never said that. So he used that language which was very, very understandable for the commonest of men of our country. So I think that was the language which should have been kept even today possible. That must have made a better impact. That's my understanding today after seeing the movie.
How many actors you auditioned and totally were cast in Ramayana?
For Ram itself, there were about 200 earlier. For Sita, they were about 20-25. Lakshman, they were about 20-25. Ravan, there were few because Nazar is pe thi Papa ji ki. So 5-7 the only that much, but Nazar is pe thi. And Bharat, of course, Bharat ke the kafi. But when Sanjay Jog, when we got, he's one of the top actors from Marathi stage he was at that. Oh, such a powerful performer he was. उसकी performance देखी and उसका face which होता, the expression that he would give, he used to give the dialogues of Bharat to him. You see, those dialogues when he goes to get him back और खड़ा लेकर आता, those dialogues were given to him. In auditions हम लोग सबके आंसू निकले. हाँ, तो उसके बाद तो कुछ सोचने की बात ही नहीं थी उसके बारे में. You see, we had such powerful this thing. Of course, for Hanuman Ji, many people had come, but Dara Ji, when he told Papa Ji that he will do it, तो Papa Ji आपसे better तो कोई हो ही नहीं सकता.
Yes.
तो उसके आंखों में ही इतनी श्रद्धा है, इतना वो सब था, भक्ति थी. उनको डायलॉग तो देखो, when you are putting that mask and other thing, तो डायलॉग तो बोलते थे, but it's very difficult. पर इतनी श्रद्धा, इतनी भक्ति, इतनी मेहनत से उन्होंने काम किया कि like for 10 hours till that mask was there, he would not drink because nothing was possible for him to drink at that time. They were hard masks that time. Abhi to we get soft rubber masks, but he couldn't. And he would sit that time. See, one of the most gentle and perfect person I have met.
क्या आपने उम्मीद करी थी इतना अच्छा रिस्पांस आएगा शो को जब?
No, sir, no. पापा जी first only told us ये फाइनेंस के लिए नहीं बना रहा, ये मेरे लाइफ टाइम एम्बिशन है, ये नहीं चले चले घर बिक जाए, but I am going to make this. So you can understand what expectation was there. Initially, we had lot of criticism from दूरदर्शन also कि सागर साहब ये क्या बनाया है, ये क्या लिपस्टिक लगा दिया आपने, ये क्या किया है. That was there. Natural होता है पहले पहले कोई नई चीज आती है. But then when it picked up, it was a phenomenon in its own. घर पे हमारे हर संडे पापा जी कथा करते थे रामायण की, and not general कथा. Kishan Chandra writer, there was another big great writer, author, like literary writer, Pandit Chandrasekhar Pandey, Bharati Vidya Bhavan के जो professor है, हिंदी के professor के head थे. All those people would come, and they would read just 2 pages. And then on those 2 pages, they will discuss on each every word. Why Ram said, iska matlab kya hoga, kaise hoga. From 25 years that was. So all that, what was, जो मेहनत की थी, जरा किया हुआ था इतने उसके ऊपर, research सारा, that all इसमें काम आई, that work, and that we are thankful to God that it really worked. God was kind.
Well, thank you so much for your time. And we're hoping you'll make some more mythological stories. Looking forward to that. And thank you so much.
Thank you very much.